Trade recap for Monday, March 9th. Things going crazy in the markets. Well, not really. Everyone's talking about crude. Yes, that's definitely pretty wacky. But for what I trade and the style that I trade and micros, today was actually a really good day for me. Sorry I didn't get Thursday and Friday up. W2 job crushed me. I was not able to get home and do a trade, but I will show you inside Tradezella exactly what happened at the end of the last week. Had a green day on Thursday, a red day on Friday, and ended up pretty much even on the entire week. But today, I guess the story that I first want to start with is I added some Lucid accounts. So I added 5 Lucid accounts. I am not just an Apex fanboy. I do not have a code for Lucid. That's not why I did it. I do have a code for Apex. Still love Apex, and we'll probably add some more. The reason why I added Lucids was because I trade slow, and frankly, I don't know if I'm going to make it in the Apex 30 days. I just don't know. So what I wanted to do was go with Lucid, one-time fee, as long as it takes me to pass. Will probably be a little more style. The thing is, it's kind of capped. It's not capped at 30 days like it is for Apex. Lower target, I think it's only 1,200. But everything else, as far as like drawdowns and stuff with my style and me taking my end of the day, like we're good to go. So as you can see, pretty much $113 to $114 per account on the day. Very, very happy. They're all in the green now. Said Apex account at the end of last week was down maybe like $50 or so, but off to a great start at 114 profit. Right now we're looking at NinjaTrader. Some things that I care about that I will definitely discuss more, and the markets are still open. If we get up here to the +2s, you guys are going to see me at least enter trade. I don't know if you'll see me get out of it. I worry about the ATR, guys. So the ATR coming into today, pretty volatile over the last month. Volatility's definitely been rising, 1,050. On the day so far, you can see in the bottom left hand, we have a range of 976. So pretty much one full ATR. The closer we get, the more likely price is going to stay in between 2 standard deviations. When I start to trade, I greenlight my trading at 50% ATR, which we hit 50% ATR with this huge dump off the open last night. What I'm talking when I say the open, that we were good to go. I have 2 charts open here. One is a modified Renko chart that you can only get NinjaTrader. So if you don't have NinjaTrader, you won't be able to access this screen. But I will show you that if you use just a standard 5-minute chart with the standard deviations of 1 and 2, the entries and exits will be very, very similar, if not close. I frankly just like the Renkos because it's a little bit cleaner. You don't get as much chop, and it just makes it a little bit easier for me to visualize my entries and my exits. The chart over here on the left is just a 30-minute candle chart. It's kind of what I use to kind of gauge what's going on. Most of my trades actually now are getting to be entered from this chart in general. So what we'll see a couple of things. We have a 233 EMA. We have a zone that I just drew up here that was built with a couple of session highs and session lows. We have the volume profile. We have VPOC, which is the volume point of control for that particular session. And then you can see I marked the highs and the lows of the previous session. That just allows me to see what's going on. So we are below my trend line. So I'm in a bear continuation pattern. And we opened outside below yesterday's range. So I'm going to call that an outside day down. Outside day down just tells me be a little cautious with your long entries, especially if you don't know right now in this market how low we are really going to go. When it is an outside day up, I do not take any +1 or +2 trades until the bands get back into that range. I've seen it just pump way more often than dump, pump and dump. But the green line up here is yesterday's high, and the red, which was used for a couple targets throughout the day, was right there in the middle of our range right now. So that's kind of how I use the 30-minute chart to at least get me going on the day. So I use the ATR and the percentage of the ATR to let me in and green light. I use a percentage of the ATR, 20%, as either is really my max stop, or about half of my daily risk budget for this is going to be somewhere like 225-ish. I will say that your risk shouldn't be any more than like your best 3 wins over a rolling 20 to 25 day sessions. Like if you're averaging $50 on your winning days, you should not be risking $250 on your smaller days, if that makes any sense. I'll scroll back here to the beginning of the day. NinjaTrader just really allows you to go through and make life very, very easy that way. And if you look to the far right along the axis, you'll see some things start to go. I made a trade right from the beginning of the session. So this you can kind of watch, and right there, I got in at the +1. Now, I do say in many of my videos inside my Discord that my target is going to be VWAP. Okay, so I always try and go line to line, but there is going to be some situational nuance or fluency, if you will, to when I will get out of trades. So I'll mention those as I go through. I really didn't go line to line today, just with the volatility in the market and me kind of being new to the strategy for 2 weeks now. I'm still learning to witness and understand certain things about the trade, but we can see that I got out right here and I was able to take it. Pretty much was looking right around, if we look over here, the bottoms of these wicks on the 30-minute. That was really going to be the target for my stop. So we had that wick and it wick down, and pretty much we had 1, 2, 3 other candles right there. I'm like, let's just take that, take some money off the table, start the day green, and be very, very happy with that. So my next trade, I'd either be looking for -1 or +1. Looks like it's going to come back up to the +1s. And this is where the patience comes in. Even fast forward, like, oh, I'm getting bored. Imagine watching this in real time. These are a tick-based chart, the Renkos. So sometimes they don't move. They are based on the ticks of the movement. I have this modified at an 11 brick size with a 2 offset. So this is an 11-2. You can find it on Ninja Renko. If you do have NinjaTrader, that's where you can get it. It's a free download. Came pretty close to the -1s. If I wasn't worried about all the down we had, I might have even entered a little bit early there. And that probably would have been the first line-to-line trade. It did cross over VWAP there. The orange line that's moving along is another 233, right? Moving averages depend on the time frame. So this is the 233 for this particular time frame. Boom, I'm in at the +1s now. And this would be, like I said, here's another situation where I'm targeting line to line. But I think in this case, yep, I took it right off at the EMA. We've been trending upwards. So I'm not necessarily looking to fight the trend, as well as the candle on the 30-minute. I like to go in the direction of that 30-minute candle. So that candle is actually green pushing up. So I don't want to fight that trend of the candle, of that particular 30-minute candle too much. So I took a couple more dollars off and I was happy with that. Now I could have entered again there at the +1. But like I said, I just taken a trade. Sometimes I like to take a deep breath. So now I'm really looking for +2s now as we continue to climb. Just missed that +2, which would have been, oh, it would have been a thing of beauty. Okay, so now, because I missed that, here's kind of like maybe even a FOMO entry, if I will, going back. I'll probably journal this out. I missed that +2 and I was angry, and it did not come down and hit the +1. So I said, all right, we are at the EMA. We are at a swing high. And we're also over here, we are at the volume point of control for the session. So you can see both of my crosshairs are equal on the chart. So you see this yellow line, I'll come up, boom, touch it. You can see that's where my entry was. So there was a confirmation of the EMA as well as VPOC on the 30-minute chart that allowed me to enter this. And I was probably going to target, definitely targeting the +1. Took a little bit of heat. It chopped around. I took a little bit of drawdown, but with 1 micro, I think the most I was ever down was maybe $10 or so. I entered right here again. So I took another entry. I saw we had the top of this wick here, and I knew that I have a max lot size of 3, so I was on for 1. It wasn't swinging and whipping around crazy, and we also did start to create a bunch of swing highs. I'm also looking at the Bookmap for my volume 2 and resting orders, and I think the Bookmap might have triggered this second entry. And then I was like, okay, my bell rang. I'm a teacher. I had to go to work. So I put it right at the EMA that I'm going to call the T line, the trend line. And then I took both my orders off so I could go work because I do have to get in front of the computer. See, while I'm walking to class, I missed this beautiful +2 that I think would have worked out outstanding. If I missed the trade of the day, yeah, I think, oh, nope, I was able to get in. So I got back from class and I was like, all right, I'm good to go. Let me enter there. I had a resting order. And then I entered again for another short because I knew I wanted 2. I definitely saw on the Bookmap here that there was a bunch of orders sitting below that act as a target, and we really weren't pushing high. Things were starting to slow down. Volume was starting to slow down, and like I said, with the max 3 lot allowment, I knew that I could take another one here. And then once again, I took them both off at the trend line as well as this swing low. I was happy to grab a little bit more of a piece. as I learn to hold on to trades a little bit longer when the markets aren't wacky right now, the markets are giving me a little bit of fear. You know, like I know I shouldn't. I should trust the method, but frankly, sometimes you get a little freaked out. This would have came down and it would have hit that trend line perfectly perfect in every way. And I think for me, that was the last trade of the day. I had to wrap up my school day and then commute home to what I'm doing right now to get me to 113. I just want to push all the way to the end here. Right now it is 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so about an hour and a half left in the markets. And yes, we are right down there at the plus ones. So probably not going to take another trade. I like to shoot for like a minimum. If I get to 100, I'm happy. Why? Because when I get to a funded account to get payouts, you need multiple 100 days. Or I think some might even be 150. It depends on the size. These are 25,000 accounts. But I know for Lucid, I need to hit 100 per day. And then who knows with Apex? I'll worry about that when I pass these and I get funded. But yeah, so I like to practice for 100. If things work out, 200 is a great day. And like I said, with a daily risk budget of 250, that's where I want my big days to be. And I want to have 3 to 5 of those over a 20 to 25 day rolling session. And yeah, that's it. If we dive over into Tradezella, I've mentioned it a number of times. There are links in the description, guys. This is an investment in yourself. You should probably check them out. If you are not using some sort of journaling software, you should be. It's as simple as that. I'm going to go in. I'm going to journal these trades. I'm going to take screenshots and put everything in. Going back to last week, and this is with last week was owning the 5 Apex accounts. So I had a 224 green and then an 831 red. That was pretty much, I think, 174. You divide that by 5. So I did not take a max loss day, just under $200. We're going to take red days. This trade last night was my first trade using my new trade copier, because now that I had the Lucid accounts, I couldn't just group trade on Tradevate, so I needed a trade copier. Ended up getting $20 there because that's across 10 accounts now. And then today, 40 trades across 10 accounts. If I simplify these and let's just make it look like one account. So this is one account inside the Apex because Apex is a little longer. I'm green $42 in that account. So I'm going to have to see. I'm going to have to push a little bit. Like I said, with that 30-day time frame, it's going to be weird. But I'm back in the green. I'm happy. Took 44 on Thursday. Like I said, everything simplified. $93 across 4 trades. And that one trade last night gets me to the 113. They go by, not the trading session starting at 6 p.m. They go by calendar day. So right now, up $42 in that. And those evaluations, if I go over and now click the Lucid evaluations, we can see the difference of those two. So the Lucid, I'm going to be starting off these evaluations, jumping right into profit 114. Today is the first day I've traded that. Last night's copy trader, things like that. You can go in, guys, see the daily view. I'm going to click, like I said, notes. You can go back in and replay your trades. You can do everything you need to. You can get all the crazy different reports you could ever imagine. Definitely worth the investment, in my opinion. I'm not bullshitting you. It's made me a better trader. All right. Please give a thumbs up, guys. Leave a comment down in the comment section. I really enjoy that. Let me know what your favorite prop firm is, what you're trading. Were you green or red today? I definitely want to do this together as we continue to grow these accounts. All right. Catch you guys tomorrow. Hopefully more green. Let's go.